He's not a running quarterback. He is so slippery.
Yeah.
Like and you can go back to his tape at LSU, and like that was so much of what he did.
Yeah.
I thought the biggest question mark for him coming into the season was, what would that look like coming off the knee injury?
Yeah.
Well, it's been a non-issue, and it's really kind of improved as the season has gone along.
That's such a good point. And again, Kmart, you've been around that team so much. For a guy who had the devastating injury a year ago, to deal with as much pressure in the pocket as he has, and still manage to remain calm, remain cool, find ways to make first downs, and find ways to keep his eyes downfield instead of watching the trash around his legs. It really is a remarkable ability on his part.
Yeah, and, you know, when you talk to players like Joe Mixon or Jamar Chase about Joe Burrow, they say it's the poise. They talk about how he never is rattled. When we discuss whether he can handle this Rams pressure, handling it doesn't mean he won't get sacked. Like, I'm going into this game expect him to be sacked, but he was sacked 9 times, 63 times all season long, including the playoffs, and he still gets up. So he can handle it. It's about are you rattled? How does it affect you mentally when you get hit? We've talked about Tom Brady, not like a lot of these quarterbacks, once you get in their face, once you knock them to the ground, it starts to wear on him. It starts to show. Joe is different in that way.
But isn't this defense different? I mean, they didn't have Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd and Von Miller and all that.
And see, so sometimes you have to be able to rush the quarterback with intelligence. See, these are veteran guys. They don't go for the big hits or anything like that. They go for the football. See, like, so understanding they go for the football, they understand how to retrace their steps when they get the quarterback depth. They understand how to rush in unison. They understand, like, if Floyd goes underneath, then Von knows he's going to go with the fish hook. And then so it's about making sure that you also are able to close up the vulnerabilities of the lanes when you get up the field and know how to retrace. So I see these guys understanding that Joe Burrow was slippery last week. So now you tackle the football. You come to balance. You don't lean and lunge. You make sure you take the extra step because you have the time, especially if you believe in Ramsey being able to play tight man-to-man coverage and have guys lurking. So this is a defense that rushes with intelligence, much different from the outfits before. These are Hall of Fame rushers.
Yeah, I think that's the key. Cincinnati has dealt with going into games being overmatched with their offensive line. It was the case against the Raiders. It was the case against the Titans. It was the case against Kansas City. Yeah. And they survived it. And some of those scenarios are different. What was the pressure against the Raiders? Well, it was an edge rusher that you had to deal with. So what are you going to do? And you're going to chip him. And you're going to have that plan for him. Against Tennessee couldn't score. So, like, it was an issue. But the bigger issue was that the Titans couldn't find the end zone. And then when you look at Kansas City, like, really that was the outlier of him making plays. It really didn't manifest itself that way in the other games. I think what ends up being tricky here, and I think what you're saying, Bart, is that, like, the quickness that these guys will get to the quarterback and how they do it and the number of guys that will do it, I think is a different animal.
Yeah. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.